Alicia, welcome to yoga. We are going to go ahead and get started. So let's begin our practice by laying down. We'll bring our head and shoulders down to the yoga mat. Leave a bend in the knees, put your feet wide, and then just let your knees fall together. And drop your arms down by your sides. Turn your palms down so your palms are facing the floor. And then just start to settle in. Notice what you feel in your body. Notice your breathing. Notice your thought patterns. What's the general speed of everything? Feeling sluggish, feeling speedy. Just take a little assessment of what's happening within. So we are in the waning phase of the moon. We are coming up to the new moon on Monday morning early. It'll be about 7:30 in the morning. But as the moon wanes down and we get closer and closer and closer to that time, to that date, it's a really good time to practice surrender. It's a really good time to practice elimination and shedding, just letting go. And surrender is a really, really big theme of the new moon. It's ideal for making time to rest, to pause and look inside of yourself. It's a good time for planting seeds or ideas or visions for yourself that can be honored in the weeks ahead through your behavior. Now, from the very physical side of Gemini, the more literal and physical, tangible, Gemini rules the lungs, the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. And the new moon is in Gemini. So we look to that association, and we get a sense of what Gemini means and what it stands for and what it represents. And if you think about it from that really physical perspective, the lungs, the arms, the shoulders, the hands all connect us with the environment around us. So there's this really, really big theme with connection when we're dealing with Gemini. If you think about it, your lungs are in constant contact with the environment around you all the time. As long as you're breathing, your lungs are in contact with the environment around you. Your arms, your hands, your shoulders allow you to have the most ultimate interactive experience. Not only are you able to pick things up and examine them with your hands, but we can move things around. We can take things with us. We can move it from point A to point B. These kinds of themes, this connection and curiosity and engagement on a physical sense, spreads out everywhere. Spreads out into our mental body, into our emotional body, into how we think and talk to other people. And it might be a subtle influence this month. It might be a subtle influence with the new moon. But these themes, I think, are worth examining regardless if you feel them or not. How do you connect with the environment around you? Go along with that theme of connection and contact. Let's go ahead and put our hands on the low belly. And then begin to breathe in such a way that your hands rise and fall with your breath in and out. Really focus on that connection between your hands and your body. See if you can feel the heat of your body beneath your hands. Notice how it feels to breathe in and out. And remember like how intimate that really is. That's a really big connection to your environment. That breath in and that breath out. And begin to slow your breathing down so your exhales become longer than your inhales. So some of us might have a really great sense of timing, and you can just go through that exercise. My brain likes to count. I like to count in and count out and make sure that I am having a longer exhale than inhale. Find what works for you and really stretch those exhales out long. A lot of Gemini energy can feel kind of nervous or restless or unfocused. And by taking our exhales out longer than our inhales, we are communicating directly with our body, directly with our nervous system. The exhale activates the vagus nerve, which is responsible for kind of turning off that fight or flight response that we get when we're frazzled or stressed out. One more big in breath, one more big out breath, nice and long on that exhale. Then walk your feet so they come in line with your hips, so they're a little bit closer together. We're going to take our right side body into a half triple diamond. So take your left leg out long, drop your left arm down by your side. So left leg and left arm are long. Then we want bends in our right knee and our right elbow. So our right knee points to the right side of the room. Our right elbow points to the right side of the room. And just notice what you feel, particularly up in those Gemini areas of your body, the lungs, the side, the shoulder, the arm, the hand. See if you can get a sense of like how you've been holding your shoulder for the past week or the past year or the past decade. And see if you can invite it to change shape, just to let go. Let go of the previous shape. We'll honor that idea of surrender. Giving up, flushing out the old in order to make room for the new. Reconnect with your breathing, feeling that long, slow in, that long, slow out breath. A final inhale, exhale combo on this side, and then change to the other side. We'll start first by making the limbs on the right side long. So our right leg goes long, our right arm goes long, and then we bring our bends into the left side. The left knee points to the left side of the room, left elbow points to the left side of the room. And with the curiosity of 1,000 Geminis, explore this left shoulder. Notice if it's any different than the right side. Maybe this one holds a slightly different shape than the right side. Maybe it has different functions. I know I like to hold my bag on my right shoulder. So just see if you can feel any difference between the sides, between your halves. Take one more inhale, exhale combo. And then take your legs long and reach your arms up over your head with a big inhale. Reach as long as you can. With a big exhale, soften as much as you can. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale, stretch, find action. And then rest, find release. One more time, inhale, stretch. And exhale, release. Pull your knees in towards your heart. Take a couple of rocks or a little bit of movement, just exploring your low back, your pelvis. And find your way back to center. Let's cross our legs at our ankles and find your way up to tabletop. Any way that you'd like to get there. You can take some rocks and rolls, or you can just roll to a side or roll straight up to hands and knees. Once you get to hands and knees, look at your body. Make sure that your joints are stacked. Shoulders on wrists, hips on knees. And after you check in with that base, close your eyes. Begin to move your body with your breath, cats and cows, rolling the spine up and down. Pay special attention to that part of you that's behind your lungs, behind your rib cage, or like the back side of your rib cage. Your shoulder girdles, your neck right between your shoulders, that connection point of the neck to the torso. Play around with how much air you can get into your lungs and how much air you can get out of your lungs. Gradually begin to shift from your cat and cow movements into C-curve movements. So we're wiggling our spine side to side, kind of like a really happy dog. Bring your spine back to neutral. And we'll take a couple of windmills. Let's inhale our right hand up to the ceiling. Move slowly, take really drawn out, kind of dramatic breaths. And then as you exhale, bring your palm back down to the ground. Inhale, move to the opposite side. Big reach up with your left hand. Big twist, big amount of breath taken in, and then a big amount of breath removed, let go. Notice how much rotation you can get between your shoulders. So can you stack right shoulder on left shoulder as you reach up to the ceiling? Can you get a rotation in your spine as you alternate side to side? And get a sense of opening in your chest and shoulders. The next hand that reaches up to the ceiling. Let's thread that needle. I'll drop the shoulder down to the ground, lower the temple down to the ground, and then let your body rest. Let's find the most restful version of this pose that you can. Really practicing that surrender theme of letting go and trusting that you don't have to be going and doing in order to be efficiently using your time. That's why we look to the moon for some guidance on when the times to be quiet and still and restful, and the times to be action oriented and driven and spur change within your life. This is the time to let the batteries charge, to withdraw your forces of effort and simply just be with what is. Let's find our way back up to tabletop. And then we'll move to the opposite side. The opposite arm that we haven't threaded yet, lift it up to the ceiling, and then thread your needle. Set your shoulder down, your temple down, and settle in for just a nice gentle and easy pose. Move your body back up to tabletop. And from here, we'll find a melting heart. So let's set our forearms down on the mat, keeping the hips up high. Slide those arms forward, reaching out, and then dropping your collarbones down towards the mat. You can drop your forehead or your chin down, whatever feels best. The whole point here is just to open up the chest. So notice your chest, notice your ribs, your lungs, how it feels to be in this position and how it feels to breathe in this position. And then engage the imagination just a little bit. And imagine that by making this space, by stretching these muscles, you are able to take in deeper breaths. You're able to let go of more of what you don't need through your exhales. and more capable of connecting to the environment around you. Begin to move your way back up to a tabletop position. And from your table, find a seat. Just a nice, easy, cross-legged position. Bring your posture up nice and tall, ears over shoulders, over hips. Drop your right hand down out to the right side. Take your left arm up and over. Lean over to the right side. And we'll go from side to side. So back and forth, left hand comes down, right arm goes up and over. And get a big sweep from one side over to the other, making space in our side bodies. Notice how one side feels compared to the other. See if you can find any patterns within your physical biology. I think it was Bruce Lipton that said that your history lies in your biology. So everything that you do with your body, everything that you think, shows up in some way or another in this physical form. Let's do one more on either side. And then let's come back up to a neutral spine. From where we will twist, we'll take our right hand over to the left knee. Lift your chest, lift your spine, look back over your left shoulder. Let's move to the other side, left hand, right knee. Right hand behind you for support. Lift up through your chest, look back over your right shoulder. Move your way back to center. And let's take the left leg out long. So stretch out your left leg, goes out in front of you. Tuck that right foot into your left thigh. Let's twist again, going back over to the left side. We'll use our right hand to connect with the outside of our left thigh. This time, make it a little bit of a smaller twist. So we want to leave our belly button pointing forward to 12 o'clock. We're bringing this twist more up between our shoulder blades, up behind our heart. It involves less of the whole spine and more of that upper portion. Begin to take this twist into a fold by dropping your chest down towards your left thigh, lowering your arms, lowering your head, your spine, your body, and finding a way to be here without a whole lot of effort. So practicing that art of surrender. Connect your left hand down with your left leg somewhere, and then move your right arm up to the ceiling and over your head as if you're reaching for your toes. Nice big side body stretch. And bring your spine up tall. And we'll switch our legs. Take your right leg out long. Tuck your left foot into your right thigh. Let's take our micro twist to the right. We'll bring our left hand over to the outside of the right leg. Make sure your belly button stays pointing to 12 o'clock and bring that twist through your upper spine. That space between your shoulder blades, the area behind your heart, maybe even into where your neck and your torso connect at that upper part. Move into a twist from here, or a fold, Fold your chest down towards your right thigh. Examine yourself, notice yourself. Are you using a whole bunch of effort? Are you able to just drop into where you are? Connect your right hand down with your right leg. Take your left arm up and over, big side body stretch. Bring your spine up tall. Let's take both of our legs out long and we'll find a seated forward fold. So before we fold, let's inhale, take the hands up really high, fill your lungs all the way, and then exhale to lower your chest forward towards your thighs. Bring your spine back up nice and tall, and let's bring a cross back into our legs. So we're back to an easy seat. From our easy seat, let's take our right palm and face it forward. So our fingers point up to the ceiling, our palm points to 12 o'clock. Then we'll use our left hand to pull our wrist just very gently back towards our body. So we should start to feel the stretch in our forearm and in our wrist on the right side. Now, if you grab your fingers and pull back from there, you're gonna get a stretch in your fingers, which is great. But make sure that you also shift your hand down to your palm, get some leverage there so you can really stretch out your wrist. In fact, yeah, just go ahead and make sure you do both. Stretching the fingers by pulling them back towards your arm, and stretching the wrist and palm by pulling your palm towards your forearm. Let's release this. So palm faces forward again. Then shift your palm, so your palm points towards you, your fingertips point down towards the ground. We'll do the same thing. So grab onto the back part of your hand, very gently without wrenching your body, pull your palm towards your forearm. Good, then release this, make a couple of circles with your wrist, shake it out. And then change your legs. So we'll bring the back leg around to the front and we'll switch over to the left hand. We'll start with the palm facing forward, fingers pointing to the ceiling. Grab onto your left palm, pull it back towards your left forearm, and kind of alternate between incorporating your fingers and not. A lot of, so the Gemini energy, again, we feel it in our hands and our arms, our shoulders, our lungs, those parts of ourselves that allow us to connect with our environment. And the Gemini rich people that you know are probably incredibly like digitally, manually gifted. Let's change the stretch the opposite way. So we'll release, point the fingertips down towards the floor, pull your wrist towards, or your palm towards your body. People that you know with lots of Gemini energy are probably intellectual in nature, interested in many topics, knows a little about a lot of things, versatile, curious, and keen on some form of connection. Let's release this side, give it a couple rotations, circle it through, shake it out. Good. Then let's make our way back down onto our backside. So recline. Take your legs out, knees pointing to the ceiling, feet connecting with the floor. And we'll take banana asana on each side. So let's move our hips over to the right edge of the mat first. After your hips are on the right edge, take your left leg out long and set your heel down on the left edge of the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left. Take your arms up overhead and make your banana shape so your legs and arms are reaching to the left side. I've been studying like ancient Greek medical astrology, and it is so fascinating, and it takes the themes that kind of reside with each sign to a whole different level. That theme of connection that comes with Gemini, of intellect, of sharing information, and wanting to be in connection with people. It's just amazing that we can also see that on a physical sense in our bodies. The nature of our lungs is to engage with the outside world. To weed out good stuff, get rid of bad stuff. We have all these systems in place in our body to keep us safe and to deal with the pollution and the toxins. So come back to that question of how do you engage with your environment? Is it through your senses? Are you a toucher, a feeler, a smeller? What is it that you do? Do you opt for non-engagement? You stay inside your head and think forwards and backwards. How do you engage with your friends and your family and your brothers and sisters and cousins? Are those connections that are important to you or not so much? Without any judgment, we're just curious. We're just exploring ourselves. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then let's move to the other side. So drop your arms down by your sides. Shift your hips over so they come to the left edge of the mat. Take your right leg out long. Set your heel down on the right edge. Cross left ankle over right. Take your arms over your head and make your big banana shape, reaching to the right with your hands and feet. Just reflect on all the things that you do with your hands in a single day. We use them to open doors, to make phone calls, to fold laundry, to make food, to eat food, to show love or affection. From that viewpoint, even if you don't consider yourself one to be someone that engages a lot with the environment around you, just look at it from the perspective of your hands. How much do they do in a day? Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. And wiggle your way back to neutral, so you find your way to center on your mat. Leave a bend in your knees. Put your feet in a comfortable place just to rest. They can be wide, they can be close, whatever feels right. And next, let's find our arms into a cactus position. So our elbows point to 9 o'clock into 3 o'clock. And our fingertips point back to the back edge of the mat, or back to the wall behind us. And allow your chest to open. Allow space to be made between your center line and all the way out to the edges of your shoulders. Allow any restrictive or limiting patterns or shapes that you hold in your chest to go. Anxieties to go, nervousness to go, restlessness to go. we get nervous or anxious, it's our biological, physiological response to keep our breath really shallow. That suits us. It suits us for needing to run away or fight or hide. In most situations, those are not the solutions. So make room in your chest and lungs to use your full capacity of breath, full capacity of nervous system function. So we're not stuck only in one mode, in fight or flight mode. Stretch your arms open into a T. They move out nice and long from shoulders to fingertips. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Drop your knees down to the left side and your eyes down to the right side. Slowly move to change sides. We'll shift our legs and knees back to neutral. And then we'll take the left leg over, set the knees down to the right side, and turn your head over to the left side. And just notice this ringing motion, this ringing through your spine, your organs, ringing out the old to make room for the new. New possibilities, new opportunities, new ways of being that allow you to be more complete and more whole. Work your way back to center. Uncross your legs. Let's find a full triple diamond, connecting the bottoms of both feet, opening both knees to the sides of the room, connecting pointer fingers and thumbs up over your head, and then allowing your elbows to fall open to the sides of the room. Contemplate for a moment that all of the restriction and all of the limitation that you face is imagined. It's something that you place upon yourself. We'll come back to that anxious breathing point. If we are anxious, we're thinking anxious thoughts, our body is going to behave in anxious ways from a physiological standpoint. When our body is behaving in anxious ways, our mind thinks anxious thoughts. It's a loop, it's a circle. We get stuck in these little circles sometimes. And that's how you can limit yourself in a physical way, in a success way, in a motivation way, in any way. So drop all of it. Drop all of the shapes, all of the patterns, all of the molds that you've made for yourself. And know that you can always fall back on anything if you need it again. But for now, you are free, you are liberated, you are capable and able to connect with the environment around you. Very slowly begin to work our way into final resting pose from here. Take your time, moving your limbs, changing your shape. Maybe you'd like some props. Maybe you feel like you have an extra wiggle or an extra stretch you'd like to take on. Get yourself set up to surrender for Shavasana. Your eyes still closed or your gaze soft and unfocused. Bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And take your arms up over your head. With a big inhale, reach out as long as you can. Oh, then a big exhale, relax. Bend your knees so they come in towards your chest. Put your hands onto your legs, make that connection, find some movement, some circles, a couple of rocks, whatever feels appropriate for you. And then shift your way up to a seated position. Relax the arms. Keep your gaze soft or eyes closed. Relax your arms, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders down from your ears, and connect your palms together at your heart. I am grateful for my ability to connect. Just hold those words in your mind and in your heart as you go through your day, remembering that as you breathe, you are connecting. As you touch and move things, you are connecting. With all my love and all my gratitude, namaste.